So hello and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to be talking about the three biggest mistakes that mindset coaches are making that I have seen again and again and again on sales calls and just talking with coaches in general. And yeah, I'm just going to get right into it. So basically I laid it out here. But before I get into those three, I just want to mention that this is from data and from lots of experimenting. And as I mentioned, this is from talking to people and just seeing the same kind of mistakes happening again and again and again. And this is just going to be like one of many videos that I'm going to be making for mindset coaches in specific. So make sure to subscribe to this channel if you're a mindset coach and you want to scale your business as a coach. And yeah, I'm just going to get right into it. So let's get into kind of phase one, right? I made this into three different phases. And the first one is they have a very confusing funnel, meaning the customer journey that a person has to go through to become a client is very all over the place. And you can't really track on one line where they're going because it kind of looks like a spider web. You know, they come to your Instagram and then they go to YouTube and then they go back to this and then they go there, and then it's not very linear, and your client has to bounce onto all these different touch points and doesn't really know how to get value from you in the fastest, best way, and get confused in the process. And one big point is link trees. And a link tree is just kind of an overarching term for those landing pages that you see that have lots of links in them. You know, this might be you having, it's basically a landing page where it says your name, and then it's got lots of different links on it, and it can link to a free product, it can link to book a call with you, it can link to some webinar that you have, it can link to your YouTube, to your other social media platforms. And the thing about that is people have short attention spans nowadays. You know, back in the day, 90-minute webinars was like the coolest thing to do and worked really well. But now, you know, there's different strategies out there. And the main thing that has caused that is people don't have the attention spans. So when they love your profile and they click on your landing page and it's a link tree and they see all these links and they have to scroll down, they get confused and they're most likely going to click away. So having a very simple landing page with one thing they can take action on is going to be way, way more effective. And yeah, so I'm going to kind of show you a quick example of that. So this is an example of my landing page currently. And as you can tell, there's not very many links. There's just two kind of options you have when you get on this page. You can either get your free training and put in your information, your email and your full name, or you can exit out of the page. Those are the two options you have. And as you can tell, it's very clear. You know, this is for mindset coaches. You can create impact content with impact to scale. That's what it does. And it's an 8-step framework. If you want, you can go to this page and kind of get the free training. But this is way more effective and way better at converting than a link tree, simply because it's very simple of what the next step is for you to do. And that's why funnels work so well. Okay, so now let's go to the next step, and that is the confusing funnel has no value-based content. And this kind of links on what I'm going to talk about later, but you're talking about things that, you know, you're passionate about or it just came to you. And even though I do tell you to kind of create your own niche, you know, bring in your different passions, bring in your different things that make you unique. Of course, that's important, but you're creating content that is purely just based on entertainment or based on people that you're going to attract basically non-buyers is what I'm trying to say. You're attracting people with your content that are non-buyers that are just getting entertained and not really getting actual value that can help them within their life to overcome certain pain problems. And then finally, this is kind of also confuses the funnel because people don't really know where to go and they just find it out themselves. Because you're too scared to actually have call to actions in your videos, call to actions on your stories, call to actions on your social media in general. And what does this mean? This means give them a action that they should do after watching your content in order to get more value from you. So this could be, hey, check out my free product in the description if you want to know more about this topic. And people are scared to do this because they feel like it's selling or it's too pushy. But the truth is, people do want to get told of what their next step is in order to get the most from you. So this is kind of the first kind of pillar. Now, the second pillar is you're scared to sell. You're scared to post stories where you just blatantly tell people to book a call with you or to download your free product or to send you a message if you're interested. And you shouldn't do this all the time. But most coaches I've spoken to, they never have any basic, they don't have any content that basically directs their audience to buy their product. And they're worried why they can't monetize or why they can't grow their business. It's because they're too scared to actually promote themselves within their own platform where people want to get more value from you. And secondly, the reason most people are stuck is because they are underselling their services. And this means they're selling their services for really, really cheap. And because of that, you get people that are what I like to call here your onboarding cheapskates. And the cheapskates are basically people that buy cheap things and expect to get amazing results from them. And because of that, they don't put in a lot of effort. So because you're onboarding people for very cheap, they don't really follow your coaching. They don't really do their homework, basically, and they don't get good results. And then you get bad feedback on your service. And it's not necessarily because you have a bad service. It's because they don't have enough skin in the game to really actually put in the effort to get the results. So if you undersell your services, you don't get good clients, you don't get good results, and it's kind of a negative spiral. Another thing is you have no selling frameworks. You don't have a way to find out their pain problems when you're on calls. You don't have a way to kind of give them the solution to what they need. And you just sell them a one-size-fits-all solution, and you don't actually close people on sales calls. Because even though you're making content about a specific pain problem, everyone has their unique situation, and you have to kind of tailor the offer towards that when you sell it on calls. Another thing is there's kind of two pillars right here, or two things. If you have a very strong brand, meaning you have great messaging on social media, you have a big following, people trust you, you don't need a guarantee because your brand is basically the pillar of trust that allows them to just buy off the call, buy off the DMs with no guarantee, right? If your brand is lacking, or you don't have amazing messaging, or people don't really resonate with your content that much, that is when you will need a pillar of a guarantee, like a full money back guarantee or 2-week money back guarantee, or I'll work for free until you reach X result. You will have to have those types of guarantees if your brand isn't strong enough. And people don't really realize this. The stronger your brand is, the more trust you'll have, and the more you won't have to use a guarantee. But if your brand isn't strong enough, your guarantee will have to be strong. So if I would pick one, I would just focus on building your brand as much as you possibly can. So now onto the third module, or the third phase, and that is that's what I like to call stuck in the dopamine algorithm. And what I mean by that is people are posting purely for the views, for the followers. They're basing their content on trends and not basic principles, and they're stuck in the cycle of always having to prove themselves. So you're creating content based on trends that are working right now, always trying to just copy other people, always trying to get that content out. And even though you're growing quite well and you're getting lots of followers, those followers aren't quality followers. They don't want to buy your product. They're just there because of a trend. And you don't understand the basic principles of just getting attention from the right people. Because I would rather that you have a following of 2,000 loyal people that love your services and have the pain problems that you can solve, than having 20,000 people that just came purely on trends and they're just there for a short time before they leave you, or before basically they're non-buyers, right? They're people that are just there for the fun and not actually there for the buyers, to be buyers. And it could be if they stick around for 6 months and they watch your content religiously, that they slowly turn into a customer. You know, this is kind of what Dan Koe, if you know what Dan Koe is, this is what Dan Koe preaches, you know, creating content that is very broad, and then over time you kind of create the customers within your content. But the problem with that is it takes a long time. You know, people have to slowly take on your beliefs, slowly take on what you're actually trying to sell, and it takes a long time. But if you actually just target the right people that you want to help from the get-go, it's way faster, way easier to scale. So don't really focus on the views or the posts or the followers. Just take principles of how to hook in attention and just link that to value of how you can help your best possible customer. And that's going to be so much better for you to scale, especially in the future if you do use something like paid ads or what I like to call the social funnel to scale up. So that was basically this video. I hope it gave you some value on some things that you should change within your business. If you want to know in detail how kind of the social funnel works, you can click the link below on this video. It goes to a free training, the same page that I showed you before, and it's going to show you exactly the best way of how to scale your mindset coaching business. And yeah, I hope that gives you some value. It's completely free. You can go check it out. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Have a wonderful rest of your day.